What's going on, guys? World of YouTube, people, faces, not faces, microphone. All right, let's talk about something. Today, we're going to be wreaking havoc. So I'm going to do things a little bit differently here today and give it a try and see what happens. Okay, so what I'm going to do is explain what is going on versus or what you should do to try to get good versus just kind of talking over what I'm doing. I mean, I guess it's one and the same thing, so I'm kind of rambling right now, but let's just leave it at that. Okay, so essentially recoil control is first, and once you kind of learn how to manipulate the recoil control on one gun, it makes it easier to do it for every other gun. So essentially you will see if you do this, you will physically see it happen as you go from gun to gun. Once you learn what the recoil pattern is for that said gun. So essentially the Havoc used to be a laser. It still pretty much is, but they have added a little bit more horizontal recoil to it. So you'll see, you'll actually see that in kind of jumps left and right horizontally when you're trying to recoil control. So essentially your first thing should be to understand the recoil of the gun and how to get your grouping as tight as possible to make sure that you're able to put in as much damage as you want on any given target, and that goes for hip firing as well. As you saw me there, I did do a little bit of hip fire practice for recoil control. Now that tends to be a little bit more difficult because if you're like most gamers nowadays, you have a higher sense for your hip fire, just so you're able to look a little more freely and snap a little quicker when you're not ADSing, and then ADSing is more your fine-tuning, so you lower that sensitivity down 1 to 2 notches below your ADS speed. So yeah, basically I think I spent about probably 15 to 20 minutes here just shooting at the wall, burning through like 1,000 or so rounds just to kind of get a feel for it, and then swapping out the sights as well, just to get a kind of feel for the different sights, because the different sights do actually affect your recoil control. Believe it or not, each sight is going to feel a little bit different, especially with a 1 to 2 times zoom as well. When you zoom in, it's a different feel for controlling the recoil than it is when you zoom out, even though you may have your ADS sensitivity standard across the board like I do. I run, I think I jumped it down to a 5.4 now, but again, as I've stated in other videos, that you shouldn't try to mirror somebody's sensitivity. That's not going to make you a better player. What you need to do is get good on the sensitivity that you feel comfortable with, or the sensitivity that you want to be able to play on. You need to practice on that sensitivity until you feel you can't get any better, and then if you still feel like you're bad, adjust your sensitivity only then, and then stick with that sensitivity. I have suffered in the past, and my brother and a couple of my friends suffer from this sensitivity is not good, let me change it. Well, this one's not good, let me change it. Well, this one's not good, and they've only played, you know, a couple of matches on that sensitivity and felt that sensitivity wasn't good for them. Anyways, back to what you should be doing. So after you have gotten that control down at set range against the wall, what you want to do is you want to come to these 3 targets, stand directly in front of the middle target, and you're going to one clip each of these targets, which with the Havoc is super easy, especially once you kind of nail down the recoil control. I actually get to a point where I can kill 2 targets with 1 clip. That's nothing special. You could probably, if you got super good at this game, you could kill all 3 targets with 1 clip. It's usually, I think, 6 bullets. As long as you're hitting all headshots, kill them. So essentially the middle target directly in front of you is the close range or easy. Then your target to your left is going to be mid range and a little bit harder. then the target to your far right is going to be your far range / hardest difficulty. And you're going to want to just fry through that as many times as you can. Try different sights, try different, for this, they don't have a barrel stabilizer, but try different barrel stabilizers. Get used to the different sights, get used to the different attachments that the weapon has, because you want to be able to run, especially in a battle royale that runs RNG on everything. You want to be able to run and pick up anything and be deadly with it. That is the goal of Get Good, or getting good at a game, is to be able to pick up anything and use it to get kills and to keep yourself alive. The 2x4 for this I feel like is a little much, but again, it is an attachment that can be used on this weapon, so if it's the only sight that you have, pick it up. Use the 2 at like a mid short to mid, and then use the 4 at long, and then hip fire at close range. What you're going to do after you get comfortable on frying those targets a ton is you're going to start moving to these square targets, because they're going to give you a little bit more distance further and further back. Start with that front one, move to the middle ones, and then move to those far back ones and see if you can hit a ton of damage on it. Because, so honestly, if you can't hit more than 100 damage on it, you're doing something wrong. I hit 414 there, and then of course practice hip fire as well. But the thing is, you have to think of the standard average player health is 100 damage with no shields whatsoever. The most a player will have is 200, I believe, with the red Evo. I'm not 100% on that, so don't quote me. But I know, no, actually it's more than that. It's 225. Sorry, because the red Evo is 25 more, and the golds, I believe, are 200. I'll put you at 200 health. So you want to be able to hit at least 100. More than 200 is ideal. Then we're going to move on to tracking, which with tracking, what I use is strafe tracking, because it allows me to focus my right stick on recoil control, and then if my target speeds up, I can use that right stick and the strafe to speed my strafe tracking. But what you're going to want to do is start at these close targets here. You can do this one and then the one to the left as well. I don't really focus much on the one to the left because it's not a big difference. This one's actually further away, slightly from this from this standing point. And then once you get comfortable with that one, again, try different attachments, try different sights, get a feel for everything at every distance, and it's going to let you know what weapons are viable at what distances. Like that far back target that I was just shooting at the end of that recoil control video, with the RE45 I was able to hit 275 damage, which means technically you could use that gun to fry somebody from that distance. Here I'm trying to move to the next furthest back tracking target, and then what I do, or what I call this, is getting crazy with it. Now you don't have to set up a zip line like this. What I mean about getting crazy with it, right now the reason I'm doing this only is because they've nerfed Pathfinder's grapple to such a way that I can't use his grapple the way I used to, which is to fling myself all over the place all the time and practice hitting shots and doing crazy stuff. Now, that being said, I'm hoping that at some point they will make tactical abilities and ultimate abilities in firing range have no cooldown, so you can just constantly spam them, because it gives you the chance to get a feel for the crazy stuff, the things that, you know, are the 1 in a million, but it prepares you. And all of that is to prepare you for what I call the gauntlet. Now, you can choose the number of bots you need to kill in between getting a free full heal. So you're allowed 2 of the weapon that you're using, 1 of each in each slot. You're allowed 1 med pack, 1 med kit, and 1 shield battery. You're going to pick those up. You're going to grab gold shield, gold helm, gold backpack, fully stock out your weapons. However you want to use them, put the attachments on that you want to get comfortable. Maybe leave one Havoc with just a sight, or one gun with just a sight and no other attachments, and then fully deck out the other one, or you know, whatever attachments you feel least comfortable with, so you'll get used to using them. Now you'll pick a number of bots. Mine is 9. That is a full wave for me. Once I kill 9 bots, I get a free Phoenix kit to fully recharge my shields, my health. I get to pick up a new battery and a new med kit. You can do the same. You can pick 12. You can pick 20. I mean, however many you feel comfortable, it's going to be a challenge, which I'm actually thinking of extending out from 9, because 9 is getting a little too easy now that I'm starting to repeat this process with different weapons. And as I'm moving from the weapons that I didn't feel comfortable with into weapons that I feel more comfortable with, it's becoming a little too easy. But force yourself into fights here. Try to make yourself feel a little under pressure, but don't put yourself in a dumb situation. Obviously, the point of this is to get a feel for how to push smartly, how to take battles cleverly, how to put everything that you've just practiced into one ball and then use it against targets that actually shoot back. Ignore that grab right there. That was a 12 out of 10, you know, perfect grab. Fight targets, these shoot back. Get that feeling of, like, you know, that heart racing feeling. You want to get that feel so that if you do get anxious or nervous and tense up, here's the place to do it, where it's not affecting your KD, where it's not going to affect a win. It's literally just bots. So you can get all those jitters out, all of that crap, and start to feel more confident and comfortable with these weapons. That's the whole point of this, is to get good and get comfortable and confident with weapons. As you see there, I've finished killing 9. I'm going to grab my Phoenix kit and run up here and pop it real quick to fully reset, and then go again. And you just continue to do this over and over and over again. You can do it the way I do, which is I do a max of 10 waves or until I die. You won't see all 10 waves because I've cut this and edited it down a little to kind of make it a little more digestible. But essentially what you want to do here is get comfortable with jiggle peeking corners, or not necessarily sitting on head glitches, because in this scenario it's a little too easy to head glitch the bots and they can't hit you, and then you're just essentially gaming yourself. So fling yourself around, get comfortable, try and take crazy shots that you wouldn't normally take in a fight because you're too worried that you might lose that fight, because it's bots. If you lose and you die, you can reset up at the top. You don't have to reload into a match and get kitted back up and try to practice with the weapon again. The only other thing that I hope Respawn will eventually fix in this, or add to this to benefit training, is the ability to just pick up the weapon and the attachments you want and have unlimited ammo. I want to be able to go in here and just fire 52,000 rounds if I want, without having to feel like, well, now I gotta run over here and spend 5 minutes picking up another, I think it's 1,024 for these, something like that. But yeah, essentially that's what you want to do. You want to pick up the weapons, get in here, do the Easter egg. If you don't know the Easter egg, what you do is you spawn in as Pathfinder, you drop your weapon and your ammo, and you run out and to the left. The furthest down tunnel, you'll go in, grapple up to the little platform that's hidden in there, walk all the way straight forward, crouch and look at the floor, switch to any legend and jump down. Then you can switch to whatever legend you want and battle bots. They have 3 different tiers. They have a gray tier, which has an R301 and a white body, a blue tier, which has a PK and a blue body, and then the purple tier, which has the L star and a purple body. The only thing is the L star, they only shoot in 3-round bursts, which is nice because bots hit pretty accurately all the time. But it also stinks because it's easy to peek out, have them fire 3 shots, and then peek back in, you know. I just want it a little more challenging, I guess. One other thing that I would like to see them add, and I'm not sure if they ever will, Respawn, if you ever see these, one thing I would like to see you guys add is like a a shooting range type of thing where I can hit a button and targets pop up and stay up for, you know, a set amount of time. And maybe you can make an easy, medium, and difficult setting where easy is up for 10 or 15 seconds, medium is up for 5 or 10 seconds, and then hard is up for 3 to 5 seconds, you know. And it gives you that chance to practice on snapping with those guns and hitting those shots. And then it can tally up your score, or tally up however many you hit, just so you get kind of a feel. Or even something that, you know, it pops the target up and you can test your reaction time. It pops up and you have to snap to it and shoot it, and then it tracks how long it took you to snap to that target and shoot it. I don't know. These are all crazy little thoughts that I have in my head. Maybe Respawn will listen, maybe they won't. I don't know. If they ever see this, you're welcome. If you guys do like the content that I'm creating, or you have any questions for me, please feel free to smash the like button. Leave a comment down below with whatever question you have. Feel free to subscribe if you want more content from me, and ring the notification bell so you guys get notified every time I post a new video. I also stream on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So if you guys want to hop in there and say what's up, feel free to. I'm kind of watching Apex right now to see if this sounds sad, because I was a Wraith main for a while, and then I got kind of frustrated with hers. Then I'm a Pathfinder main / Bangalore main, and they just nerfed Pathfinder into the ground, so I'm a little disappointed with that right now. But we'll see if I stream Apex anytime this season. As for the statistics, as I put up at the end of every video, bullets fired 12,288. I spent an hour and 45 minutes and killed about 58 bots. I died once at the very end. I think it was just because I was sitting still and wasn't doing anything, and I got fried. Anyways, thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video.